Hello, hello. I'm not sure who all's here today, but I am getting ready to start the lettering for our live workshop here. And it seems that I am sideways. So let me turn this for you. Okay, is that any better? And I'll adjust my camera. Sorry, you can't see my face. Hello, hello. I'll wave for you here because I don't feel like flipping the camera around because that drives me bananas. Anyways, we are here to letter happy hunting on this pumpkin, and I hope that you'll join in with me. You can see that I started with this outline that I did with a brush pen, and then I worked it out in pencil afterwards, tweaking what I like and what I didn't like. And then I made the faux calligraphy template for you. And after making the faux calligraphy template, last week I practiced by putting it onto this chalkboard, and there's what's called a chalk template, a chalk transfer to do that. Put a little pumpkin in the corner so it could cover the little car that was on the side of the board. Today we're pulling out the big guns. So I've got the pumpkin here, and with it being on a plastic pumpkin that's not entirely smooth, it's going to be bumpy, and it's plastic, so it's probably not going to take the chalk quite so well as well, maybe I could try with the chalk. Anyways, I've printed out the template in a little lower of I did it at like maybe 78%, and I 78%, so it's smaller than the other one so that it'll fit on my pumpkin. To make a chalk transfer, what we should do is fill in chalk on the back, and let me just see if this will work. Take a sharp tool, I'm using a toothpick, and press to see if it'll apply. Oh, it does. Okay. So that makes life a lot easier than trying to glue the carbon paper, tracing paper onto, not tracing paper, what do you call that stuff? Carbon paper onto the pumpkin. So what I'm going to do is cut out the template so that I don't have to worry about all this extra room. I hope you're doing it along with me because I'm not speeding up the video, right? So it'll take as long as it takes. I have a class at 10 to 7, so hopefully it won't take that long. And what we're going to do is color along the back of the template with the chalk. I should have done this on a sheet of paper so it didn't end up all over my desk, but anyways, it is what it is. So this is called a chalk transfer, and if you find that it's not working for your pumpkin with the chalk, you could glue the carbon paper to the template and trace over it like that, or you could color on the back with oil pastel in a dark color. Or if you want to just freehand it, what you could do is put some washi tape along and then just work on it with that so that you know that it's along a straight line. But I think I'm going to trust my template for all except the H that is a little too close to the A. And I will tape the template onto the pumpkin so that it doesn't shift around a lot. So I hope you guys have had a good week so far this week, and that you didn't have any trouble finding the tools to do this with. I've had my pumpkin for a long time. I just keep doing the same thing on the same pumpkin. But I found that they are selling pumpkins at Daiso. So we're going to put this here. That looks pretty good. And the bottom here. And this is really quite a trick, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is go over the letters. Maybe I should put another piece of tape on that. In some cases, it might actually be better just to freehand it, but let's see how this works, because I've seen it done this way before, and so I'll show you the way that I've seen it done. The last one, when I put my family name Park on here, my husband's name, I put that freehanded. But if you're not so confident with your freehanding, I'll show you how to do it this way. Okay, so we're not going to travel around. Now, this template, you don't have to follow it the way that you would be writing. You just have to remember where you have done it, right? It doesn't have to be exact. The main outline is good enough. And if you go down one side, like let's try to go along the left-hand side, and then we'll remember that we need to color in thicker for the right-hand edge. Okay, so this is the inner edge. Oh, that does not sound nice. And the previous time I did it, I did the white, but my white paint pen is actually medium tip and not fine tip, and with the size of this, I'm really kind of nervous about it fitting all on the pumpkin if it's going to be too big if I use the medium tip. So I'm going to use the black fine tip Posca pen that I've got. Now, if you don't have a Posca pen and you want it to be permanent on your pumpkin, you can always save it for later, use it next year, then you can use any kind of oil-based marker that you please, right? When we're using, sorry, I'm running out of camera, sorry. There. So I've gone over all the lettering. Yeah, so as I was saying, if you don't feel like erasing it later, then you can use a permanent marker. And it's a bullet tip, hard tip permanent marker, and in full calligraphy, you can just color in the extra line. Now, I'm not going to get into bouncing theory tonight. You can just copy the template, but if you are interested in learning calligraphy, then after the workshop, I will drop you the link. We're in the middle of the autumn course right now, Well, not quite the middle. I'm just about to start Module 2, sending out the Module 2 packets. I'll be sending some out tomorrow for next Wednesday's lesson. If you want to catch up, then, you know, maybe we could plan an extra session and get you caught up so you can jump right in. But let me know. Send me a text message if you're interested. And let's see how this has worked. Let's hope it's worked nicely. Carefully take it off without rubbing. And we should have some pencil outline, or sorry, chalk outline. This is called a chalk transfer, and you can I don't know if you can see it. I can kind of see the swirls here for the bouncy calligraphy. And that's what I will be going over to draw the design on a pumpkin tonight. So let me get rid of some of this chalk dust so my arms aren't in it. And I'm using the Uniposca. It's a PC3M, and that's 9 to 1.3 millimeters, 0.9 to 1.3. Now, if your Posca pen is new, what you'll want to do is just prime it a little. To prime it, take a different surface and press down. I've already primed this one. So it came with just the white that the nib is made of, and then you can actually watch the paint fill it. So hold it down, let the paint fill it, and then you'll be ready to go. So I'm going to do the happy section first because I don't want to put my arm in the work below. And I'm going to put this on so that I don't rub my hand all over it. Keep in mind you're working on a round surface. It's not going to be perfect. Oh, I thought I'd moved that over. Whoopsie. Well, let's see how it goes anyways. Right? So, we all know the saying, perfectly imperfect, right? Life has its idiosyncrasies. So there's happy in block letters. And let's go around. And remember, when you get to the dips, you're going to have to hold your pen kind of with a funny grip. So I'm just going to go through and color in this section. And they say you should color it in as you go, just so that you know that you've got it wide enough. Because if you do all your monoline right away, then you might not have left enough room to color it in. And that's what really makes modern calligraphy, this variation of stroke width between the thick and thin lines. And later, once this is dry, we can wipe off the chalk dust. Now, honestly, I feel like I'm going terribly slow with this, but I think that's because we've all gotten used to all those sped up videos, right? So when I'm coloring it in, I go from the top down to the midway point on the curve. Whee, oh boy. And down, taper in to the midway point. I think I'm getting some chalk dust on my nib, so I prime it again to get a bit more liquid paint on it. And if there's a little bit here, I can always fix it up, take off some paint with a Q-tip or something to clean up those lines. I'm really glad I used a thin marker for this. This one is quite slim. And honestly, when you go slow like this, it'll really help you to get a good shape to your letters. So if you want to fill in with Posca on a hard surface like this, not on a paper surface, you really should fill it in while the pen is while the ink is still wet, the paint. Because if you try to go over it once it's dry, it may turn into a bit of a dropout zone, and that will be hard to take care of. Again, when you get to the lines on your pumpkin, it's going to cause funny effect with your pen. Maybe just look at the full thing again to see how it's turning out, if it's coming straight or not. Oh, chalk dust. Let me see if this will help any. If you're leaving comments, I'm really sorry to say I can't see them right now, but I will go back and reply to any comments once I've finished here. Oh, that's right, nice. There, we got a little more ink in there. See, cause a dropout. Okay, I won't go back too far. Let's keep going with this here. Thicken that one. And again, on a dark Halloween night, who's going to be looking to see if that really fell into the hole or not? Okay, wow, look at that. It worked out. Not quite as crisp as the chalkboard in white, but I must say I'm fairly happy with that. So this Halloween, I wish you some happy haunting. Let's let that dry a moment. And again, check the comments if you like bouncy calligraphy or even regular calligraphy. We all start with the basics. Calligraphy is put together with basic strokes so that you can make your letters look very consistent with one another and they match nicely together. So there we go. We can make some happy treats for the season. Happy is dry now. I'm just going to brush off the chalk dust. There, you can see it polishes up right nice. I'm not going to touch this one because I can tell that it's still a little shiny and wet, but I will post a picture of it later. That's all for today, and I hope you have some happy haunting fun. Bye-bye.